Hello. So, um, today I am trying something different. Since I finally got my, well, not a super great, but still working capture card, I am trying out playing on Nintendo Switch. And I chose the game Vampire the Masquerade Coteries of New York because that is something that is fun to play and it's not super long. I have once played it through with one character, so this time we'll play with some other character. And oh boy, let's see how this goes. Hi, and you can see my other model that I've used for quite a while. Well, I haven't used it very much, but it's much older than my Nora model. And I have my little Nora right here to me also. This is exciting. I thought of also like if I make it large. Maybe I should make the switch volume a bit less loud. Yeah. So that I can be heard over this. Standard. Well, let's go with this. I don't know if we need to change them. And they're all empty because I'm with a new user. Just for streaming. I created that one. Which one did I think when I played this first, I latest went through. So, and after I played that, I have like read a lot of VTM lore, so it would be interesting to play as something else. But not Kruya. Those are like, they just don't. I just don't like. They don't hit my sense of self at all. But Toreador might be interesting, so let's try this one. Emma Lamar. What should my name be? Well, I can be Solakium. And it can be like my artist name. Because Toreador. Right. My mouth is really weird. Anyway, let's... Sorry for being so awkward. Also, what you see on screen is also what I see on screen, which is really weird for me. Because New York taught me to believe in fate. Had you asked me about fate when I was human, I would have told you it's just superstitious bullshit, that we are all designers of our own destinies. That belief shattered when the richest woman in the United States, the actual richest one, not a face you could have seen in the papers, of course, sank her teeth deep into my neck. It happened in the very same place you're standing in right now, by the way. Faith, you decide. Please, there's absolutely no need to be hostile. Just listen a little longer. See, my mistake was that I flew too close to the sun. It makes sense that my punishment was to never see its glow again. I was incandescent myself. I was hot shit. I had it all: money, looks, confidence, connections, men, woman, a career, and a spark in my eye, the one you need to be born with. And that's when someone far more powerful than me saw my radiance and thought, that won't do. She robbed me of the light erupting from within and gave me a subtle, enduring gleam in its place. She decided that would be that that would fit me much better. She was a ninth generation kindred, just like you, an apex predator. She probably enjoyed teaching me the peak of human excellence, my real place in the food chain. It's such an eyesore when you look at some loudmouth braca and see them for all they really are. The temptation to teach them a lesson can be unbearable, right? Well, my sire's lesson was a lesson about faith, a message saying, you're eternally doomed to be at the mercy of our, your sovereigns. It almost drove me to destroy myself. What saved me was the ability to reinterpret her teachings. Hers wasn't a message of doom, it was a message of hope. Faith exists, and one can shape it if given the right tools. My sire didn't believe my tools were fitting for the job. She considered them toys, and me just her amusing subject. Well, she's deader than dead now, and I'm still here, standing right where she stood when we first met. You might have wondered how I learned about your arrival to JFK Airport. My answer is, of course, destiny. As luck would have it, today happened to be a day some of my associates were inspecting the coffins. Driving you here straight from the plane and having you wake up in an unfamiliar place was a little desperate, and I do apologize for it. But it's so rare for you to visit New York 3 times in the last 15 years, was it? And you're never eager to inform me you're here. I understand you still have that meeting on 53rd Street later tonight, so I'll provide a comfortable transport. I value our relationship very much, don't get me wrong. But it is precisely because I value it that I'm going to ask you to repay the favor you owe me. You're the only one I would trust to do the job well and without attracting attention. You might think I'm crazy, asking you to preach the rules of our society like this. You might think it's impossible to get away with it unpunished. But this is New York, and I don't know about other cities, but this one, fate really exists. And right now, it's smiling in your favor. This is how it begins. You stifle a yawn. It's been a slow evening. Hmm? The little bit of red liquid left in your glass and the crumbs on the plate remind you that, if nothing else, these art exhibitions at least come with some decent wine wine, and legit catering. And yeah, it's fun to talk about your work on display, even if you end up discussing it with pretty much the same people each such occasion. You have met that one critic who keeps telling you, with self assured authority, how you should pursue a different artistic avenue. Then there's the obligatory doe eyed art student who's also impressed with your technique. To be fair, you're not all that happy with your latest piece. But hey, it's not the worst thing you've seen tonight. That ignoble, dubious honor belongs to one of the other paintings on display. Nice to be a good painter. And yet, its author, currently being paraded around by his rich parents, has barely been able to grab a bite of the fancy canapes. So many sycophants to meet, so little time. For a moment, you think that maybe it's not worth it. Maybe you should take the critics' advice, cut your losses, sell out to some corporation and get it over with. And, as if the universe wanted to validate that train of thought, that is the exact moment your sister Emma decides to pop up in your view. Oh, I have a sister. Where's Emma?
So let me get this straight. Cushy corporate jobs are selling out, but supporting a billionaire's vanity project is totally fine with you.
I am. You absolutely despise her as an artist, while you're struggling to uphold some nebulous ideals of what art is meant to be. She's perfecting her ways of mooching off the system. Good for her, I guess. Shamelessly preying on little known street art and niche internet memes, she repackages them as poetry friendly collages. So it's perhaps no wonder NYT has recently dubbed her a mind blowing explorer of digital art's extreme possibilities. But in spite of all that, you absolutely love her as a person, even as you welcome her by smacking the back of her head. A gesture meant to convey nothing but deep affection. Yeah, nothing but deep affection.
No, but seriously, supporting young artists my ass. I don't know what kind of money you got for this piece, but I doubt it was even a fraction of what's going to be worth in tax benefits.
Oh, Em,
The gallery owner actually said that if he had to choose his most valuable audience, it would be the IRS, and I'm pretty sure he was only half kidding.
you mumble a non answer, and the segue into a different subject, trying to preemptively quell her repeated offers to get you a steady job. Of course, she proves insistent as ever. Of course she does.
You know, sometimes I just don't get you. On the other hand, you wouldn't be caught dead taking money from the inevitable winner of the culture wars. On the other, if someone gave you the chance to collaborate on some dumbass Oscar bait flick sponsored by Larry Ellison's bailout fund, you'd do that shit for free.
She rolls her eyes and asks,
You know that the only difference between the art scene and the culture industry actually pays your bills.
yeah, I know. As expected of someone who's given up on attempts to infuse her work with any sort of enduring quality and decided to just keep responding to the zeitgeist. She claims to happily accept the fact that after she dies, both she and her work will end up in a landfill. When you respond that you prefer chasing a one in a million chance to immortalize yourself, she claims it reeks of an overinflated ego. But you've been down this road too many times before and managed to accept she'll never understand what's truly important to you. Slowly but surely, you move on to more agreeable topics,
your plans to finally get hammered together, or the most recent crop of garbage Netflix shows your friends have tricked you into trying out. Hello, Doodle. Yeah, this time, this game. I wanted to test if I can actually stream using Switch, so. And I had this game, and I figured this would be a lot more casual than Fallout 4 playthrough, so I'm doing this a bit, at least. Nice to see you again. How do you do? Alright, I gotta go. I've got a date. She picks a bunch of middle-aged men in expensive suits who have stopped pretending to care about the exhibition and are exchanging the worst lecherous jokes they've got in their stale repertoire. Have fun with your friends, class traitor. I will. I will. Have you noticed that all my birds are also talking? So there are so many of us here, even though it's actually just me. She gives you a hug and heads for a nearby elevator. There she goes, the pleasant part of the evening. Still, you decide to delay the inevitable and catch a quick smoke break. Oh no, I'm a smoker. Truth be told, people aren't exactly lining up to chat about your work anyway. As you leave your post, you start tapping your pockets in search of a lighter. Instead, you find $100 bill you're absolutely sure wasn't there before. Who put that money in my pocket? It wasn't M, right? Jesus Christ, M, you're the worst. And the best, you can feel your cheeks turn red, but you gratefully put the money in your wallet and move outside. When you reach the balcony, you look out at the New York City and light the second last cigarette left in the back. That's my smoking voice. You're alone, it's not silent. The metropolitan hum is ever present, even this high up. But it's a good deal more intimate than what's behind your back. You lean over the railing and look down. The street lights become more than usual. In your mind's eye, you see yourself as your final artwork, beautifully splattered all over the pavement. Oh no, I'm also suicidal, apparently. Working title: Delusion of Grandeur. The author: a brilliant artistic soul crushed by feeling of reality. Gone too soon. You chuckle and flick the cigarette into the air. Freshened up by the night's cool breeze, you squeeze back into the stuffy interior. You barely make it a few steps before lethargy sets back in. It's like you never left. It's a visual novel. They are they are like this. They have text and pictures mostly. They sometimes have some actual proper gaming elements, but this might not have those. I think this doesn't have. I have played this through once with another character and I don't think it had any elements like this. That it's mostly like text based. Still, something in the room feels different. Your eyes are drawn to a handsome young man, neatly dressed and groomed, exuding the air of a true artiste. Ooh. And the best part, he's intently looking at your painting. He likes my painting.
gallery is almost like an art installation itself. Now, people standing in silent awe. The guy like a beacon, drawing everybody's attention. Hushed conversations about the quest can be heard from every corner of the gallery. They haven't told what my painting is about. Maybe it is a banana peel. Your heart is pounding with excitement, and you approach feeling like a kid trying to get close to a deer in the woods, but afraid you'll scare it away. The man turns to you, and you stop in your tracks, entranced. So, this is one of your pieces. You manage to mumble an affirmation. Tell me about it, please. As you start discussing your inspiration technique and process demands, eyes lock in onto the painting again. He keeps interjecting, making knowing remarks. This guy gets it. He really gets it. Yeah, I guess he's probably a vampire. And he really likes my banana peel. The world around you disappears. Where did it go? You'll say anything, do anything to keep his attention on you. But you realize you don't need to. He's into your art. He's into you. He's into me. I want to buy it. And I want your company. I need to talk to you. You will like what I have to say. Spoken matter-of-factly, served straight up, like he knows that you won't refuse, that you can't refuse. An hour later, you find yourself at his apartment. He took me. One of many, you presume. With your self-esteem all but patched up, and your head full of fine windage. You tell your host a lot. In fact, it seems like you're telling him everything. I don't know. We'll see. Where you came from, how you ended up in NYC, how you had to take out a loan to appear at tonight's event, how you took the long look down the balcony, that you thought about taking the plunge, and this time you were only half joking. You feel miserable. You start crying. He holds you in his arms. You feel calmer. The tears stop flowing. It's been long since you last had someone you could not just talk to, but communicate with, be seen by. Who knows? Maybe there's hope for you yet. That feeling of bliss is the last thing you remember before passing out. Next thing you know, you're lying on the couch in that same apartment, hungry and dehydrated. How long has it been? Hours? Days? More? You're feeling weak, confused, abandoned. Where's my mystery man? You look around in panic. Is he still here? Thank God, yes. There he is, standing in the doorway. His voice breaks the silence and fills you with hope, until you realize what he's saying. What is he saying? I am so sorry. I hope that maybe one night you will forgive me. Always remember that in our parting moment, I wished you well. Parting moment? Are you leaving me? No! You try to speak, ask him to stay, but no voice leaves your parched throat. You taste something on your lips. Wiping your mouth leaves a crimson stain on your hand. It's not the wine. What the fuck? The door of the apartment closes behind him. Alone. Again. Then the pain hits. It's a headache, a lurching in your stomach, a burning in your arms and legs. It's all you can focus on. A panic takes you. You fall from the sofa and hit a wine glass. It flies off into a wall, shattering into bits. A mumble from the corner of the room indicates that you're not as alone as you thought. From where you're lying, you only see a feminine shape stirring awake. Don't tell me it's my sister. You crawl towards the woman, inch by inch. Pain turns into an urge. You need to get close to her. You begin to see details. The long hair shrouding her face. The worn-out New York City hoodie drawn over her skimpy dress. She opens her eyes, moves her locks to the side, exposes her neck. A rabid instinct takes you. In the blink of an eye, you find yourself buried in her hair, smelling her sweat mixed with just a hint of cheap perfume. You bite down and drink the blood from her vein. Wait. What's happening? You break away. You look at the girl. She lets out a sigh, goes limp and unconscious again. You try to crawl back, her dress rolled up to the side, and you glance at her naked thigh. You lose control again. Bite her leg. Drink deep from the artery. It's intoxicating. It's bliss like you've never known before. It's beautiful. I'm afraid that girl is probably going to die, so... You break away again. Fall to your back. What the hell was that? Did you really drink her blood? Yep, I guess I did. She's not moving. Oh god, she's not moving. I think it's not Emma. You check her pulse. She's cold to the touch. Nothing. No heartbeat. No sign of breathing. That's when it hits you. Your chest isn't moving either. Your heart is not beating. You are cold to the touch. You reach for your phone. It's not there. Where did you leave it? Or maybe he took it. Impossible to say. You stumble around the apartment, but find nothing you can use to call for help. You need to get out of here, now. You look outside the window. You're high above the streets. There's no balcony, and the building's exterior is glass almost all the way down. You'd never survive the jump. But maybe that's precisely why you should leave the room this way. You've just killed somebody. Your life is essentially over. A sickening void is opening in your stomach, warning you that your reality is about to turn into an unbearable hell. A voice in the back of your head tells you that the smartest course of action is to take the leap before it does, and the more you argue with it, the more reasonable it sounds. You're just about ready to pick up one of the chairs and try to break the window when you hear the clicking of keys in the lock. You freeze in place. This is bad. I killed someone and I'm alone in the apartment with the corpse, and now somebody is coming in. Your thoughts start racing desperately, but instead of a rational course of action, only visions of false hope come to your mind. What if it's him? What if he's had a change of heart? What if he's sent someone for me? You almost feel your heart beat again with excitement as the doors open. Almost, but not quite. A man enters, but not the one you expected. He's tall, broad-shouldered, handsome, with darkish skin. His suit is stylish and immaculate. You've never seen him in your life, but you immediately see past his sharp looks to see his sharper nature. He is a predator, and if you're not careful, you might become his prey.
Good evening.
I'm here to pick you up. That's right, Doodle. A deep, emotionless voice. He turns his eyes to the lifeless body of the girl in the New York City hoodie and raises an eyebrow. Maybe I should move my model or not. That's me. Who are you? I'm the ferryman, here to take you to the other side. He approaches the bed to examine the corpse from up close. Well, this is unfortunate, but preferable to going insane from hunger. Quite a nice gesture, actually, if troublesome. He briefly looks at you with something like pity in his eyes, then changes his expression to a perfectly blank one. Listen, you may perceive your current situation as something out of the ordinary, but I've met hundreds of lost sheep like you, and you see, they tended to fall into two categories. First, there were the smart ones, those who carefully obeyed my every word and didn't pull off any stupid stunts. They always got where they needed to go safe and sound. Then there were the dumb ones. The punks who thought they could take me on. The wise guys who tried to contact somebody secretly and without permission. The troublemakers who tried to run off or make a scene. None of them got to their destination in one piece. In fact, a lot of them never reached their destination at all. The man talks in a bored, professional tone, giving off an impression that he really has delivered his speech countless times by now. Did I read it like that? I'm not quite sure. So you see, despite being a smart person, I am a Mets fan. I love baseball, and it inspired me to come up with a 3-strike system to determine if someone is dumb. If you get on my nerves 1 or 2 times, well, I understand. Not all of us perform well in stressful circumstances. But if you do it 3 times, understand that there will be no excuse, no forgiveness, no mercy. His presence changes ever slightly. Say I understand, sir, now. You feel an overwhelming, barely resistible urge to fulfill his demand. I understand, sir. Excellent. Alright, have you got anyone you'd like to inform about your current situation and tell them you're alright? Yeah, yes, Daddy. He seems so dangerous, I have to do what he says. He flashes his fangs briefly as he talks, and for some reason, the sight causes a chill to run down your spine. Something's wrong with him. Someone closest to you? Wait, what was the question? Can I check it somehow? I can. Inform. Oh, yes. He seems dangerous. Maybe he'll eat my sister if I tell him about her. But if my sister isn't told, she'll send someone after me and snoop around. Emma, my sister. She's probably having a night out in Brooklyn with her artiste friends. Can I call her now? Please. You take out your phone. While asking the question, It was in your pocket all along. What? It was in my pocket. It must have been panic talking before. He shakes his head and points at the hooded corpse next to him. If you want to implicate her, go ahead. I think we'd all be better off if you let me make sure that she only knows what she needs to know. Yeah, agreed. Give me her phone number. I'll have someone get in touch with her. You oblige and hand him the smartphone so he can copy the number from your list of contacts. My teeth drinking face. Thank you. This will be useful in illustrating my next point. Instead of giving back your phone, the man hides it in his pocket. Oh fuck. His next point will be something like, don't trust anybody or something like that. From this night onwards, you are subject to different laws than the ones you grew up with, and you'll be watched by many eyes to ensure these laws are respected. You are forbidden from letting anybody know you're still alive. You are forbidden from showing your face anywhere they know you. If anyone comes to search for you, it's over, both for you and them. Oh no. He interrupts his monotone recitation to stare deep into your eyes. So, if you don't want someone to find your poor sister's body in the Hudson River next week, cooperate. The sight of his fangs again, and another physical fight-or-flight response. You played right into his hands, putting M in danger. Eek! They would have found out about her anyway, I think. I can only hope that you care for her enough not to do anything selfish. By now, you are absolutely sure he's just toying with you, provoking you just to feed on your reactions. He hasn't told you where you're going yet. But he's already made it abundantly clear that a lot of people struggled hard to avoid getting there. Yeah, I guess I'm dangerous. But there are people who are more dangerous. More dangerous. You'd be far more eager to cooperate if he never raised the subject, but he made it a point to make you fear the unknown. He's pushing you, but to what end? Does he want to intimidate you into complete submission? Is he hoping you'd give him an excuse to get rid of you? Or maybe he's testing you, forcing you to show what you're made of. Somehow he makes all of these options seem plausible at once. Alright, I think that's enough lectures for today. He takes a glance at his silver watch. It's a Patek Philippe, the kind of brand mere mortals never see outside of luxury lifestyle magazines. Just who are you dealing with here? It's past 3 AM now. The sun will come up in just a few hours, so we don't have much time. Come, we need to leave so that the corpse can be taken care of. He turns his back on you to unlock the door. I think I'd better follow him. Okay. You obediently follow him out of the room before he locks it again. You manage to take a final glimpse of the corpse. You feel a pang of conscience, but not because of your victim's horrible fate. It's because you don't feel guilty, even though you know you should. I don't feel guilty, but I killed that lady, girl, whoever that was.
Something important inside of you that was still there yesterday has definitely died tonight. You wonder if you'd ever even recognize yourself in the mirror. The stranger shows you to the elevator. You go to the ground floor. During an awkward ride, your dazed and confused mind desperately searches for a glimmer of hope and eventually comes across one. Maybe you'll find the man you met earlier this night. That man. That nice man. Really nice. Made me a vampire. Do you know what happened to the man who brought me here? That's what I'd like to know. As of yet, he is unidentified. They have left no trace, and it's obvious they are not planning to come back for you. Damn. If, and that is a big if, you ever see him again, it will be tomorrow. And probably for the last time. Are they going to kill him? What do you mean for the last time? His face is inscrutable. I said what I said. All I can add for now is tomorrow is a big night for you. The elevator door opens to an empty hall. You walk outside, past the night guard's post, which is empty. The cold night air reminds you of the balcony, just a few hours ago. The suicide balcony. The man motions to a black Cadillac Escalade. Take a seat in the back, please. You get inside. The man closes the car door behind you. You hear a click as it locks. The Cadillac is almost entirely dark. The side windows seem light-proof. The man gets into the driver's seat, starts the engine, and drives away without comment. Where are you taking me? A safe place. Forgive me, I am not in a talkative mood. This won't be a long drive. Patience. That silence fills the car. You close your eyelids and sink back into your thoughts. A blurry afterimage of the man who brought you your painting is still there. It's strange. You never felt this way about anybody. Am I in love with that man? Or what is it? It makes you happy, even though you have the nagging thought that there is something fundamentally abusive about this attraction. But then, the girl's hair spilled over the purple hoodie and her blood spilled over the gold floor come into sharp focus. You wince. You want to cry, but it's as if there were no more tears left in you. After what feels like an eternity, the car comes to a stop. You get out in an underground parking lot. It's an ugly concrete grey thing, empty, but for the car you came in. It looks like there's a room beyond a metal door in the wall. And some more tea now. Oh heck, the face tracking. Guess you'll live to see another night. Follow me. He opens the metal door and lets you inside. Here we are. These are your lodgings for tonight. If you get hungry again, take a look in the fridge. Tomorrow I will come pick you up. The cramped room has no windows, just a simple bed, a single light bulb hanging from the ceiling, a small humming fridge, and a rattling AC fan in the wall. It has all the coziness of a solitary prison cell. You notice claw marks on the inner side of the entrance door.
Hmm. Not going in there. I am not going in there. Actually, yes, you are. No! Listen, normally I'd lose my nerve right about now and things would get nasty. But I get it. You're scared. You don't understand what happened. Trust me, you will learn more tomorrow. But now, I need you to rest. And you need you to rest. It gestures inside the room, with the claw marks and all. Oh no. Finding more willpower to resist, you step inside. The stranger nods contentedly. Good night. He locks the door behind you. It looks very secure and sturdy. You open the fridge. There's a single plastic bag there, filled with red liquid, unlabeled. Tomato soup. You feel sick to your stomach. Best leave it for now. Yep, not tomato soup. You lie down on the bed. It's a simple mattress on a metal frame, kind of grimy and damp. Eesh, probably filled with bugs. Ew. Seeing it makes you grimace, but you're just too tired not to lie down. Your entire body hurts, a dull feeling that makes you feel heavy. You feel vulnerable and lonely. Usually, when that happened, you turn your attention to painting. Just do not think about the alternative. But there are no paints. Oh, but there is that red stuff in the fridge. Your family upbringing left you with no skills but artistic talent. Creating art used to be something of an unpleasant duty. Somewhere along the line, though, it became the only weapon you had to fight with existential despair. Some of your best work was created in lieu of impotently crying in bed. Yeah, it's jam. It's definitely jam in the fridge. Not tomato soup, it's jam. Hell, you're pretty sure a few of those pieces had your tears mixed in with the paint, like the painting that led your whole night to this. So while I made that banana peel painting, I was crying. What an emotional piece. Yes, the doodle. You are so smart. You look back at your life, and it starts looking like a downward spiral. You are so tired. Your entire body tenses up, and before you know it, you drift away into oblivion. You wake up. That in itself is a surprise. You barely remember when you drifted off. It didn't feel quite like sleep, more like plummeting into an endless void. You imagine that's how feels like. Yeah, it's a great game. I do also love it. The room is unchanged. The lamp is still on. The AC is still rattling. The refrigerator is still humming. You take a look at your watch. It's almost 9 p.m. You've slept for 17 hours straight, and it only felt like, kind of. It felt like a second or so. Maybe you died. Your breath is gone. And you feel no thumbing in your chest. Does that qualify as dead if you're still conscious? Vampire magic. That's how you sleep that much. You're not sure about that, but you are certain about one thing. You are hungry. It's not your stomach rumbling, though. So what's rumbling? It's a need that starts somewhere in your abdomen and spreads to your chest, throat, and back of the head. You open the fridge. The bag is still there. You take a closer look at it. If it is soup, then its color and texture are off. You pull the cork out, take a whiff. You recognize the smell immediately. Jam. Holy shit, it's jam. There's no mistaking it. It's packed jam. The smell is faint, and you remember some situations in the past where you found it nauseating. But now it's almost no, not almost. It is enticing. Let's drink it. It feels wrong, but right now there's barely anything in your life that doesn't. To hell with it. You pour a bit of the liquid in your mouth. It tastes bland, reminds you of cheap supermarket juice, just enough flavor to register as what it claims to be on the box, but nothing like the real thing. Fake jam. Hmm. Nothing like what you had the last time. You swallow it. Somehow you don't feel sick. In a weird messed up way, you can't help but think it feels nourishing. You take a few more sips, and then just another one. Suck on the back a little more. Eventually, you find that you emptied it entirely. All, you look at the info pressed on the side of the bag. 450 milliliters of it. That's almost half a liter. Wait, milliliters, right? Isn't that like half? Like if it would be deciliters, it would be 45. No, no. These conversions are not my best suit, I guess. I always have to Google them up. Yeah, yeah, so that's like half a liter. Yeah, good. Even with its blandness, you still feel like having more. You realize your body longs for that intoxicating high you felt when an image of that corpse crosses your mind, causing you to wince. What have you become? You try to piece your thoughts together, make sense of it all, when you hear the lock click and see the door open. Standing there is the well dressed stranger you met yesterday. Oh no, it's that guy. Immaculate suit again. That predatory look, like a hawk on a hunt, but somehow more relaxed tonight. So, like a tamed hawk, maybe? Good evening. Slept well. He notices the discarded, emptied bag. I see you had a bit of a snack. Was that really type Resus Oplat? Not that easy to get. Glad you liked it. Come on, we've got places to be. The car is humming in the empty parking lot just outside the door of the cramped room you have spent the day in. The man motions to it, politely, but with a stern look on his face. Okay, lead the way. After you. You take the back seat again. The doors lock. The stranger takes the wheel and starts the car. You drive in silence for a while. From time to time, you keep trying to catch glimpses of familiar streets or landmarks through the blackened windows, but it's of little use. The car is also soundproofed, so all you can hear is a bit of traffic humming and the car's engine. The driver doesn't say anything and seems focused on the road. You check the door handle. Yeah, the door is locked, all right. The piece of dark glass separating you and the front of the car looks sturdy too. There is nothing left to do but wait. You didn't have time to think about it before, but you realize now that you're hungry? No, not exactly. It's not a rumbling stomach that grabs your attention. Oh no, I want more blood. It's a need that starts somewhere in your abdomen and spreads to your chest, throat, and back of the head. in the in Vampire the Masquerade lore, there are some of those vampires that have trouble getting reflected on mirrors and like being seen properly on security cameras and such. But most of them can be seen in the mirrors, I guess. You try to extract some information out of the man behind the wheel, but you realize you'd prefer to bask in the afterglow of your last meal. You wouldn't have expected it, but you spent the rest of the trip lost in your thoughts. A lot of them concern blood. It takes you another 20 or so minutes to get to your destination. As the door opens, you try to get your bearings. You're still in New York, that much is certain. Queens, maybe. Wait, you know exactly where you are. The nice looking two-story building has a logo you immediately recognize. It's that logo. The Art Hole, an avant garde gallery, used to hold that collection of packed viscera and body parts by. You can't quite remember the guy's name. He's Brazilian, you think? Fabio something or other? After me. No sudden movements, please. You've never been inside, not quite your style, but the place has quite the cult following. You keep racking your brain for more facts, hoping they'll help you with whatever you got into. Two large men in suits flank the door to the gallery on both sides, and they give your companion a nod as you approach. Prompted by the stranger who guides you, you walk inside. The gallery is full, which is unusual at this hour, to say the least. Night gallery. About 2 dozen faces fill the showroom, and a number of waiters navigate the gathering, serving drinks. All of them are beneath the guest's attention. The visitors are well dressed for the most part, but it's unclear what they have gathered here for. Not the art. Nobody seems to be particularly interested in the art pieces on the walls, and the atmosphere is polite, unnaturally so. Are they all vampires? Many guests turn to look at you and the stranger who brought you here. Their glances are varied. you see you see open contempt on a few faces and animated interest on others. Most of the eyes in the room calmly observe you, as if wishing to appraise your worth. Memories come back to you like a bad case of PTSD. How many times before had someone judged you impassively or decisively through your art? Many, many times. You'd share a piece of yourself with the world, and it would respond by making you feel like garbage. It always took a lot of effort to not lose your cool and tell all of them to shove their opinions up their collective asses. Now, looking around, it feels like you become another artwork as commodity. Commodity? Commodity? Hmm? To be judged by a bunch of obscenely wealthy, out of touch assholes, it makes you want to scream. Good evening, Quadira. And to you, child. The noble cold voice takes you out of your head and back to the situation at hand. The gallery, a crowd of strangers, you being brought here against your will. For what purpose? Maybe I'm the artwork. The room awaits your response. Good evening, miss. You are addressing the Prince of New York City, Helene Panhard, Childe of Michaela. Helene.
Thank you, my sheriff, but I am capable of introducing myself.
She is somewhat plain-looking and doesn't seem to possess a great deal of charm, but still the entire room is intently focused on her voice. She has influence over these people, that much is clear.
You may address me as Prince, child. I realize your introduction to Unlife was abrupt, and I understand your sire left you shortly after. The rules of our society dictate I punish you both for this transgression.
A murmur of agreement, maybe, can be heard from the gathered audience.
But I am willing to listen to what our loyal sheriff has to say about the circumstances of your embrace first.
Wait, my sire? You mean the man I met at the gallery?
That's one of the things we're here to ascertain. You are about to be judged by the court of New York City. Quadir, please tell us how you found this fledgling and what happened on your way here.
What? Prince? Is this some kind of secret society make-believe? No! Not my head! I want to keep my head. A trusted informant who has chosen to remain anonymous at this time tipped me off about a suspicious kindred appearing in one of our domains. Upon investigating, I found them gone, but this fledgling remained in their place. Interestingly, his sire made use of an older haven of one of the clan of the Rose for the embrace. They were even thoughtful enough to leave a local woman for the fledgling to slake his thirst on. Despite some reservations, he offered little resistance last night and cooperated on our way to the safe house. I was pleased to not have to force his compliance. We had a quick chat, but wishing to appear here post-haste, I urged him to join me, which he did without struggle. A pleasant departure from my usual routine, I must say. His thirst is partially slaked with the bagged blood we kept in the safe house. We had a pleasant enough drive here. Pleasant drive? He thought that was pleasant. The story ends with us arriving at Elysium tonight. Is this Elysium? All eyes are on you again. You take a special interest in one of these faces. It's a beautiful woman with curly, almost blood-red hair and a dress to match. You see her whispering to some bespectacled man with an absent-minded look on his face. Who is she, you wonder?
Thank you, Kadir. I take note of this fledgling's behavior, and I will take it into consideration later.
She turns her attention to you.
First, there is the matter of your sire.
No, I didn't flash anyone.
First, there is the matter of your sire. The person who brought you here were Quadir picked you up from last night. Who were they?
He was beautiful, charismatic, charming, dark hair, a sort of artistic mess, had an accent I couldn't recognize. He took notice of my art, brought a piece, in fact. I want to meet him again. Yeah. The last sentence came out almost involuntarily. You immediately feel ashamed, sounding like a sad puppy whimpering after their master. Yes, you do want to meet that man again. It's an urge deeper than you've ever felt, maybe even love. No, that's idiotic. He never even introduced himself to you. And he used you. That asshole just plain used you. For what?
Well, Quadir, does that sound familiar?
No, it does not. Or at least not familiar enough. I will continue the search after we're done here. Well, that's as much as you're getting out of me. What now? No, it is time to decide your fate, fledgling. What shall I do with the fledgling, my prince?
What is your recommendation, my serif?
The tradition is clear. Thou shalt only sire another with the permission of thine elder. If thou createst another without thine elder's leave, both thou and thy progeny shall be slain. I don't want to be slain. I am ready to fulfill my duty.
Stay your hand for just a moment longer, Quadir. I wish to consult my council on this. Make sure everyone is in agreement.
Of course. He seems strangely relieved. I guess he didn't actually want to kill me. But he will. The prince leaves the main showroom. A handful of people follow her out. I don't know if I can punch him. He might be faster and stronger than I am. Who knows? You're about to ask this quadrille what all that talk of traditions and councils was, when the red-haired woman approaches the two of you. Sophie. Sheriff, I was wondering if I could have a word with this fledgling. What for? She lowers her voice in response. Come now, Quadira. We all know that the verdict is going to be. Let me speak to them. You might not have to stain your hands tonight, after all. Her words grab his attention. His face is hard to read. It's like several emotions are struggling for domination. Anger, sadness, hope, gratitude, resolve. I'll go get my sword. No, not the sword. He steps out of the room the way you came, and you are left in the showroom with the woman in the red dress. She takes you aside, and the eyes of the remaining guests follow you. Well then, fledgling, you are in quite the pickle. It sounded like you knew exactly what to say to him. I could swear you two have history. Aren't you a perceptive one? If only I could direct your focus elsewhere. What I want to tell you demands your full attention. Last night, you became a vampire. I hope they cannot.
Wait, what? Oh yes, I am well aware of how ridiculous that sounds. It's the reason why we have these nicer words for it. Kindred, being embraced, having a sire. The fact remains. The beings called vampires, you're looking at them. They are us.
You glance around. Some of the guests are still occasionally looking at you, commenting on you in hushed tones. Many of the patrons are pale, really pale. Most hold glasses of wine. I bet it's red, and actually blood. No, not wine. That's not the right thickness, and not the right color either. You're trying to come up with something sensible to say, but you're drawing a blank. It makes a morbid kind of sense. You drank blood last night. There's no denying it. And your breathing has not returned. Your heart remains still. Am I going to watch the Fallout series? I don't know. I'm most likely not going to watch it when it first comes out, but I might watch it at some point. If somebody watches it with me. I'll see.
A vampire.
Two voices in your head start battling for supremacy. One of them slowly begins to put everything that happened since yesterday together, coming to a conclusion that no matter how insane it might seem, nothing but what she's saying makes sense. Yeah, Amazon. And that's one of the reasons I'm not going to watch it when it first comes out. But maybe at some point. Just because it is like an interesting setting. Oh, how I wish the times of pirating were over because of Netflix and all, but they are coming back. They are clearly coming back because these services are so bad. The other boys just keep saying, what the fuck, on repeat. You're surprised. This is often how it plays out by design. Body deliberately keeping you in the dark and all. If we do nothing, you will be cut down, as sure as day follows night. But I am here to offer you a chance, a way out, under one condition. Yeah, it's really shitty how you can't find like all the things you want to watch from where you can actually reach them by not pirating. I will take you under my wing. If you're lucky, the prince will be in a good mood tonight, and your defense to Kadir will work in your favor. She might agree to this, but only if you swear fealty to me. Yep. Pirating it is. Maybe. Don't tell anybody. I am not making this offer lightly. As your patron, I will take responsibility for you. Your actions will reflect on me. If they reflect negatively, well, I will make sure you face the consequences. My pirating has actually been very minimal in the most recent years, thanks to actually having a job and money. But suppose I say yes, what happens then? You survive, hopefully, or not, depending on the prince's whim. I'm giving you a chance, not a guarantee. But if you take me as your patron, I will be your guide in this new reality, and you will assist me, like a childer would a sire. Steps and hushed voices can be heard from the side room. It seems that the prince and her council are returning to the showroom. Kadir appears from downstairs as well and starts walking toward you. When you hear the verdict, ask to be spared. I will intervene. Remember my condition. She flashes a heart-melting smile towards Kadir, who does not smile back. The sheriff's immaculate suit is now complemented by a curved, oriental-looking metal scabbard, fastened with a colorful sash around his waist. That's the sword they want to use on me. It would look vaguely ridiculous if it wasn't surprisingly intimidating first and foremost. Kadir takes his place next to you and observes as the prince takes center stage again. Loyal kindred of the New York City Camarilla gathered here tonight. I have made my decision regarding this fledgling. She briefly addresses you. I want you to know that this was not an easy decision to make. For your part, you have not done anything to earn our ire. I do feel a genuine sorrow for what must be done. We are all keenly aware that these nights we need to close our ranks and trust the wisdom of our elders and their traditions more than ever before. There is no place for tolerating dissent when our very existence is under constant threat, although I acknowledge some of my council's divergent opinions on this. She takes a look specifically at one of the people who left the room before, a rather plainly dressed, shy-looking man, whose skin has a somewhat healthier tone. He bows his head in deference. I hold the final authority over this fledgling's fate, and I declare that while their embrace might be the sire's responsibility, in their absence it is their progeny that must be punished. No! Are you also Prince Panhard? The sentence is final death, to be resolved presently. Kadir? You hear a scraping sound and see that the sheriff has unsheathed his curved sword. They have curved swords! It is beautifully detailed blade with which you expect must be worth a small fortune. Its apparent sharpness makes you freeze up. 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. His quiet mumble is audible to nobody but you. As his eyes meet yours, you note just a hint of sadness in his countenance, one that quickly vanishes to give way to grim determination. And he's out to bat. You will not get another chance to speak up. I make my choice. I ask for mercy. I don't want to die. Spare me, please. Prince, if I may ask you to stay the sheriff's hand for a while longer? Kadir looks at the prince, awaiting her response. The sword is still hanging above you, threatening to fall at a moment's notice.
Is there something you'd like to say, Miss Langley?
Yes, if I may. At first the prince looks somewhat annoyed at the distraction, but she stays quiet for a while, measuring the mood in the room. The bored elites suddenly look at you with aroused interest, some of them dismayed at not seeing the bloodshed, but all intrigued by the unexpected twist. The prince nods.
Well, let's hear it.
Sophie takes a few steps forward. All eyes are on her now, but Cuddy's heavy hand on your shoulder makes it clear you won't take advantage of the distraction.
My prince, while the traditions are clear, I believe that the proper context should be observed in addition to the letter of our laws. This fledgling is a burden, but with proper guidance, they could become an asset to our domain. Am I to understand you are volunteering to take this childless children under your protection? Yes, I happen to think they might hold a potential that would be unfortunate to waste. I do expect their full cooperation, of course. Whispers can be heard again. An incredulous voice or two, a hushed, "Just behead the fucker!" Some suppressed exclamations of surprise. Silence! I ask all of you to take note of this moment. I might be persuaded to bend one tradition in this child's favor, but another will have to be enforced even more firmly in its stead. Until thy progeny shall be released, thou shalt command them in all things. Their sins are thine to endure. Are you certain that's a responsibility you wish to shoulder, Miss Langley? I'm willing to guide this fledgling and add a valuable ally to our sect in a time of need, yes. But I would like to receive the right of destruction over them, if it pleases you. It's clear tensions are high. It feels surreal to listen to strangers discussing your death, or second death, apparently, and keeping silent. I'm drinking tea. I love tea. I would always drink tea, but it has too much caffeine to drink in the evenings. Now it's not evening, so I'm free to drink tea. You decide it's for the best to let Sophie handle this alone and not interject. You have no idea how to handle this eyes wide shut crowd. The prince looks at you as if weighing your worth. She takes another look, good measure, of the room before she speaks again. I shall grant what you ask. Let it be known, Sophie Langley of the Clan of the Rose will become this fledgling's patron. They shall be considered like sire and children. Miss Langley will take full responsibility for them,
and I grant her the right of destruction if she sees fit to use it. Let my intentions be clear, however. If I am to turn a blind eye to one of our most important traditions on this occasion, I expect it to be beneficial to the Camarilla, substantially so. What? Why don't you like tea? Tea is great. I hope you find this verdict satisfactory, Miss Langley. Of course, Prince. Thank you. Very well. She turns to you. What is your name, Childa? If you don't like tea, what do you drink? Solacium, Prince. She nods. Welcome to the Camarilla, Solacium. Whiskey. But that whiskey is for a completely different occasion. Now, this evening proved to be even more eventful than I anticipated, but with the fledgling's fate decided, I believe our meeting here can conclude. Thank you all for appearing on such short notice. Give my regards to those who couldn't make it. Kadir, a moment of your time before I let you return to your duties. Of course, Prince. Milk, milk in the morning. Just plain milk, not with coffee or anything. That's the first time I'm hearing about someone having that kind of stuff in the morning. Ah, so milk and cereal, that makes a lot more sense, kinda. So you don't have any caffeinated drinks at all? That's good. I don't drink coffee at all, but I do drink tea. I drink it in the morning, I drink it in the afternoon. I don't drink it in the evening because I have to go to bed at some point. Coffee makes you sleepy. What about energy drinks? He shoots you a side glance that doesn't leave much space for interpretation. You will be watched. You will be judged. And if need be, you will be punished. The two of them leave the gallery. That's an interesting response to caffeine. Well, Solakium, I think we both already managed to significantly improve each other's evenings. But let's keep the ball rolling, shall we? I think we should have a toast to a new fruitful partnership. I wonder what she wants me to do. Something very shady, probably. What? That's really backwards. Like, how does that make you more make you have like more energy? She raises her hand at one of the well dressed concierges who have now reappeared in the showroom to refill the guests' glasses. The conventionally handsome man approaches with a carafe of red liquid. He pours it into two tall glasses. It's blood again. That much is clear. You're in two minds about drinking it. But the memory of last night's hunger makes you wince. You take a tentative sip. Little boost. What about, do you get sleepy if you eat a lot of food? Because I do. You expected the same bluntness you tasted a few hours ago, but this one you can actually savor. It's smoky and warm, making you think of a cozy cabin in the woods. Mhm. It does strike you as a strange image for your mind to jump to when drinking human blood, but it is what it is. You never tasted anything like it. Do you like it? I think New York City caterers have very bourgeois ideas about what good blood should taste like. Sleeping properly is healthy. Do you sleep enough? You're sleepy, but do you sleep enough, like 8 hours a night? Apologies, you must have so many questions. While we're on that topic, perhaps we should start with those related to sustenance. I feel this hunger constantly. How much do I have to drink to make it go away? That's good to hear, the doodle. The sad reality is, it will never go away. No matter how much you drink, you will always be tempted to have more, unless you consume someone wholly to the last drop, paying for temporary relief with their life. But that is a one way road to losing your humanity. Best start by just taking a single sip from a vessel. Be prudent. Hot, fresh blood will be more satiating than most anything they serve in a fancy glass, but it can make you more voracious. As to how much you should have, it depends. If you're frugal, you can survive many nights without a single drink, but it's risky and will tempt the beast. That is part of our curse. Tomorrow I shall take you honey and we will explore this topic further. The blood you're having tonight should be enough to keep you happy for now. Mm-hmm. The prince mentioned something about you and me being like sire and childer. What does that mean? Helene, I mean, Prince Bernhard spared you on the condition that I take responsibility of you for you. Normally, a sire and childer are close. One begets the other, after all. Our relationship might not be exactly that of a sire and childer, but it's treated as such by our laws. That we do not share a blood does not matter. You must therefore defer to me in all things. Yeah, this is this is much calmer. Calmer. I needed some calm in my life before I start doing something bigger again. I don't wish to use the right of destruction that the prince granted me, so I will appreciate it if you don't give me a reason to. I promised I'd guide you, and I mean it. Treat me as your mentor and superior, and I will treat you as my loyal retainer and understudy. With me, you can go far. Without me, you will be lost to the unfeeling night, and we can't have that. Big thing. I just mean that when I choose the next longer game to play, like I don't know what I will play, maybe even Pillars of Eternity, or I did consider playing Oblivion again, but probably not that. And I actually tried to get Morrowind work on stream this morning, but somehow I broke the OBS studio by doing that, so it was not good. So I'm still thinking about which game it will be next. And I will probably make a make a whole new model for it. Like I have this Nora model here. I made it just for playing that Fallout 4 game. So I will probably make another model for whatever I'm going to play next. Those of us unaccounted for can easily become a danger to the masquerade. That's the main reason why. With your Syogan, the prince wanted you out of the picture too. The concierge returns, asks for permission to intrude, which Sophie gives with polite smile, and leans in to whisper in her ear. You know that the gallery is now almost empty. Thanks, the doodle. I'm being told the gallery is just about to close, but we still have quite a lot to discuss. We'll go to one of my apartments. My jalopy is waiting downstairs. Come. What's a jalopy? The smile she puts on makes you remember last night's encounter in the showroom. A similar eagerness to spend time with this person overtakes you momentarily, and you follow her outside. Your sixth sense tells you she's an artistic soul, too, and you unwittingly start projecting good qualities onto her. Sophie leads you to a luxurious silver Rolls Royce and invites you to sit in the back. The chauffeur, a broad shouldered, clean shaven, middle aged guy, starts driving immediately. Where did we leave off? I believe I started telling you a bit more about our customs. You've heard the prince refer to our traditions. The chief among them is the masquerade. So you're into those that look wrinkly on the one side and like a lady on the other side. As you might have gathered from us assembling at the Niche Gallery after closing time, our comings, goings, and doings tend to be somewhat secretive. We do not advertise our existence. We allow myths and modern fiction to morph and muddle the facts. So, to the vast majority of kind, we remain bedtime stories and pop culture icons. Say, is that one television show about a vampire angel still popular? Vampire angel. Oh, angel. I've actually watched that one through. You shake your head in confusion. She shrugs and continues talking, looking a little bit more dejected than before. Our clandestine ways help us remain safe, allow us to explain away the occasional trip up to the rational minds of 21st century humanity, and dictate much of our interactions with mortals. So, if it's such a secret, then I'm guessing your driver is a vampire too? Oh, dear Gregory here. No, not a vampire. Although he is a loyal servant and, as such, trusted to not spill our secrets left and right. You will realize with time that such help is welcome. Gregory watches over me during the day hours. Sun burns our kind. That's why we take our rest when it rises. It's more akin to being dead than sleep, as I'm sure you've already experienced. You wouldn't make a good servant for the vampires, I guess. Not everything you've heard about vampires is true. Some more folk related threats are just legends, or occasionally a minor nuisance. Garlic, running water. Even religious symbols don't repel us unless the wielder is uniquely pure and godly. Stakes through the heart, though, that's something to avoid. They do not destroy, but they do paralyze us. A good meal. Well, that's just another reason to have somebody like trusty old Gregory making sure you're safe when you drift away. We have many enemies, and they often know their advantage lies with daylight. Am I right in thinking that having a human friend or two is necessary then? Or at least useful? In moderation. And best if they don't know your true nature. Also, I would say that subordinates are useful, but friends. I haven't had one of those for many years now. Our little sect supplies social interactions plenty, but doesn't really encourage friendships. Alliances of convenience to be broken at whim. Yeah, that's more like it. It is so sad. Poor vampires, no friends. Long-term solidarity does occur in the Camarilla, but we are a very politicized organization by necessity. Loyalty is to your sire, to your prince, and to the sect. Friends must remain a distant priority at best for us to maintain Masquerade and thrive as the years pass. With age comes authority. With it comes influence and power, if you wish to reach for them. She seems to be lost in thought and falls silent for a while, leaving you to ponder all these things you've learned tonight. It still feels absolutely unreal, but as a piece but as piece after piece of knowledge falls into place, the image becomes almost like an entirely logical jigsaw puzzle. Whatever you wouldn't believe on your own, you witnessed. Many questions swarm your thoughts, but the one you keep returning to is what your place in this new reality should be. The car stops. You are in the city, in front of an old but well renovated apartment building. We are here. Would you like to see your lodgings? I get my own apartment? That's neat. Consider it the first of many gifts that I'm able to grant in exchange for loyalty. Come upstairs. Come upstairs. She leads you through a small hall with a night guard who greets Miss Langley with a good evening. And you take the stairs up to the second floor. Sophie opens the door to room 209. Maybe solo. Well, it will be a solo performance, I'm afraid. She probably won't give any. Inside are all the amenities you could expect from a modern apartment, and some you wouldn't have deemed necessary. Just the previous night, including thick blinds on the windows. The back room has a comfortable looking bed and a thick steel door with several sturdy looking locks, but no windows. Well, how do you like it? Does it matter? Would I get another choice if I said no? That's a fair point. No, this is the only apartment I can spare right now. But if you find yourself with some unexpected needs regarding your housing, don't hesitate to clue me in. Hey, I want painting supplies. Tomorrow I will take you hunting and discuss the blood in more detail. I'll let you get comfortable. The keys are by the television set. I will come pick you up tomorrow night. Use the back room for rest. You can lock the doors, just in case. It stings a bit when she leaves. It's like the room suddenly became a few shades dimmer. You inspect the kitchen, hoping to find something to drink. Nothing. No regular food either. Feels strange that Kadir could be a more thoughtful host than your new sire, even if only in that respect. You briefly wonder if the sheriff might have a hidden side. He's a hidden softie, I guess. With nothing left to do, you lie on the couch with the TV playing in the background for company. Columbo reruns. Reruns. President of the United States got himself into serious trouble again. President of the United States got himself out of the trouble again. Bandits start yelling over each other about things that seemed a little less insignificant just 2 days ago. You start drifting off, reflecting about another night of confusing conversations and world-shattering revelations. How many more before you finally understand what happened to you and what you're supposed to do now? You keep coming back to the life you left behind, the people you should contact, the things you want to pick up from your apartment. You wonder when you'll have the chance for either. As you start to feel the same tiredness that made you drift into a cold sleep last night, you settle in the back room. The bed is comforting, the lack of windows less so. Golfer. Do you actually play golf? I have only ever tried a little bit of mini golf. I didn't find it very interesting. You leave the light bulb on. Looking at it, you realize it's the closest you'll ever come to staring at the sun on a breezy summer day again. A wave of melancholy overwhelms you. A few minutes later, your consciousness fades and you take the plunge into darkness again. Sinking, 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 sinking. Can I save the game? Why is it save and exit? Why not just save? Hmm. Actually, this is a good spot to finish up for this time because I survived, well, the first night as a vampire. And did I survive 2 nights? Yeah, sorry, I have a lot to do today. I promised to bake cookies for my coworkers and I haven't started that yet and yep. Mhm. What kind of stuff do we have here? There's explanations for these things. Beast, Sire, Childe, Masquerade. Coin, sect, sheriff. I should probably read up on the traditions, actually. Should I? My head a bit. The six traditions form the core framework for the covenants among the kindred. The first tradition, the Masquerade. Thou shalt not reveal thy true nature. Yeah. The second tradition, the Domain. Thy domain is thine own concern. All others of three respects while in it. Oh, thee respect, not three respects. Maybe my eyes are getting tired from reading on the screen. The third tradition, progeny. Thou shalt only sire another with the permission of thine elder. The fourth tradition, the accounting. Those thou create are thine own children. Their sins are thine to endure. The fifth tradition, hospitality. Honor one another's domain. Without the word of acceptance, thou art nothing. The sixth tradition, destruction. Thou art forbidden to destroy another of thy kind. The right of destruction belonged only to thine elder. Okay. Sect is a group of vampires arguably united under a common philosophy. The two most widely known sects currently populating night are the is it like Camaria, Camaria, or Camarilla, and the Anarch movement. I can't help it. It's my mouth. It's just like that. My tongue is going numb. Can't pronounce the words anymore. But I'm like pretty familiar with all of these things because I have actually this they have these huge source books for the tabletop version of this game and I have like the base books for it and I've been reading those. They are really nice and interesting and I would really like to play that also but I don't have anyone to play with that with. So it's a bit hard. Maybe someday. In my dreams at least. Okay. Well, Yeah, I'm. Yep, it is difficult, especially when you want to play some specific thing, and the thing is something that requires that the all the players are familiar with the stuff. Yeah, at least I have a D&D group I play with regularly. I am very fortunate to have found one, but even they are like my brother and my brother's friends who are now my friends as well. So I'm lucky to have a brother like that. Maybe you will find one at some point. Oh, my stretching face. Okay, I guess that's it for today. It was it was nice having you here, Didoodle, again. Thank you. And my voice is going a bit. My mouth is a bit dry. I've been speaking more than I I usually speak on streams, I guess, because there's nothing else to focus on than speaking. I will do my best. You have a nice rest of the day or night or whatever it is for you. So, bye bye.